episode 5 of level 1 to ZOD. Welcome back, guys. It's Omni here, and today we have a very special episode. I've been playing this game for 20 years, thousands of hours off and on, and this is my first time ever dropping this item. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. And one quick little note, as this episode continues, the drops are going to get consistently better over time. So we're going to start off slow here with a triple essence drop. Not the coolest thing in the world, but I thought it was pretty neat, and I kind of wanted to show it. Then we get jebaited, like always, with this terrible Nagel ring. And this is my first Ormus. Is it any good? No. 3 to telekinesis. Moving along. And Dariel gives us our first Tolwar. This is an Alibaba. And it's weird that we got an entire Enigma before we got our first Alibaba, but that's just kind of how these things go sometimes. We got another Geeds here. Absolutely disgusting. Throw that back on the ground. Back to Trav. We drop a nice quarterstaff. This is our first one of these as well. Is it ethereal? No. That's alright. Still a really cool item. Everybody loves Rib Cracker. There's another item that's not particularly amazing, but it's relatively rare and it completes my Trang set, so I wanted to show it in the video. More Endariel. And we get another Titan's Revenge. This one's quite bad though. Non-eth and pretty low enhanced damage. I think in total in this episode, this is about 2 weeks worth of runs. We did about 4,000 or so lower Curast runs, and that happens a lot, I'll be honest. But we got a pull rune, and another pull rune. That's all right, we're ramping up now. The drops are just gonna get better from this point on. So yeah, what's next? There we go. A nice plain 20 life small charm. Those are always nice to have a bunch of those laying around. And then I feel like this item is pretty overlooked a lot of times, but Kira's Guardian is actually quite nice. Cannot be frozen and plus 69 all res. That's pretty solid. And Dariel drops her own Visage. How nice of her. That's our second one. And since we're talking about Endariel's Visage, I thought it was only right to show this one as well. Our third Endariel's Visage from the Cow King himself. Moving back into lower Curast runs, we get this nice little Grand Charm here. Now, unfortunately, whenever I'm doing LK runs, I sometimes space out. I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something like that, so I don't actually identify it until we get back to town here. But when we do, it is a cool little Shadow Disciplines lifer. Quite low life, not an ideal stat, but you know, it's a lifer, so we threw it in the video. We got a Skin of the Viper Magi, only 28% all res, but still pretty cool, and we are ramping up slowly. Now, what's a better ring than a Viper Magi? Well, in my opinion, a near perfect Raven Frost ring. It's a really high roll there. And gross. Get that out of here. The next drop is another unique ring. And it's another almost perfect Raven Frost. Can't have enough of those in the inventory, so I'm happy. There's our first Ist. Lower Curast is starting to pay off. And I think this is the part where we start getting into a couple of rare items. Now, I'm not great at pricing these, but I thought these dual res, gold find, faster run walk, some defense, self-repair, like those were pretty neat. Those were cute. So I wanted to make note of those and show those off. I like identifying boots. It's kind of like one of my favorite things in the game, if I'm being completely honest. I don't ever leave a pair of rare boots on the ground. Anyways, moving on to the next. No good. This ring. Again, dual res, life, faster cast rate. Now, it's not particularly high on anything. It's not even a 3-point ring, really, but it's pretty cool. Dual res, life, faster cast rate. Anyways, doing all those trav runs, you get a lot of gold. This is the best item I found from all that gold that I spent. About 35 million total, probably. We got a goal rune. Always cool. Next drop. Actually didn't happen from Endariel, but it's just chilling on the ground here. A ethereal 5-socket berserker axe. Quite neat. Look at this waypoint. It's like one teleport away from Thresh Socket, and I just started farming it. It was awesome. I got like 10 runs in, and then I did that. And my heart sank into my stomach, and I took a little bit of a break after that.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Anyways, back to LK. Our first proper high rune. Now things are starting to ramp up.
You could say things are getting pretty serious.
We are getting into the high rune territory here. Straight into another Vex rune. What is this Monarch? How is this better? Well, it's not. And I don't know where the small charm came from, but I absolutely love it. And yes, I do think that it's better than a Vex rune. 7 MF, 11 poison res. It's a crazy jewel, or a crazy charm in my opinion. And yeah, one of my favorite drops. We have a Geed's Fortune here. So close to being perfect. Very, very high roll. Quite happy with that drop. There, finally, we got an Enigma and so many other ridiculous things, and then we finally get War Trabs. This took forever. Glad to have those. Going back into Endariel, and we drop a Shaco. Now, what makes this Shaco so special? Well, it's perfect. 141 defense, perfect Shaco. Nice. Endariel is nice enough to drop these Scarab Shell boots, but why is it so cool? They're ethereal. Ethereal Sandstorm Treks. One of my favorite all-time items ever. And here, you'll see that I've censored out a little section that's not for you to see, but we accumulated all the runes required to make our Grief. So let's go ahead and do that now. Eth, Tier, Low, Mal, Ral. We got the 40% increased attack speed. Arguably, that's the most important thing for the IAS breakpoints. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy with that roll. Now, this is where we start getting into some pretty serious drops. And it's not that charm. It's a Sur rune. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't do a lot of Chaos Sanctuary because I don't particularly enjoy it. But I'm glad we did this day. And let's just keep this momentum going and get another Sur rune. Why not? Now, I wanted this one to be a bit longer. I don't really know why, you know, no particular reason. I just kind of wanted to show the whole process start to finish, about how quick these runs are, and kind of what I do. Yeah, finally got something decent. I panic. I almost die because I get a little shell shock like a deer in headlights, and we got a bear rune. I think that's the first bear rune I've ever gotten from lower Cuirass runs. I don't usually do lower Cuirass runs because I'm a ladder player, like I play online. So lower Cuirass runs are pretty much just like an offline, you know, thing. So yeah, it's really exciting to get my first actual like good high rune from lower Cuirass. But speaking of good high runes, what do we get here? What is it? That's right. That's a Cham. Imagine this, opening your inventory and seeing that. Now, how the hell did that get there? Well, let's go over the footage, because I was confused as well. Let's see if you can spot it. I'm gonna be quiet. You tell me when that drops. Did you see it? Did you hear it? Let's slow it down. I was walking and clicking in that direction, and as it dropped, I accidentally picked it up, and because I was listening to a podcast, I had no idea. Terrible rolls, but my first ever griffins that I self-dropped. So at this point, we got those 2 sirs earlier, and we got a bear rune. So let's turn the 2 sirs into a bear. Now we've got bear, mal, bur, ist, and yeah. Rest in peace, Insight. You were a real one, but it's time to upgrade. Let's make an infinity. Let's see what roll we get. Ouch. That's okay. Well, it's an infinity, so it's still OP. Doesn't matter. Now, we got a cham, we got an infinity. What the hell could this clip here be? What is better than those? Well, let's find out. You weren't expecting that, were you? Me neither. That's a ZOD rune. It just dropped from Endariel.
What happened?
I won.
Okay. 1 to ZOD is complete. What does this mean moving forward? And, you know, we're going to talk about that in a second. And we're also going to do a little farewell showcase of everything that we accumulated over the past month. So I've taken some time. I've put all of our juicy good little bits here in this one stash tab. And before we get to that, let's talk about something. So naturally, the thing that makes the most sense is to pivot from this into a Holy Grail. So I can do continued weekly updates of the Holy Grail. Now that we have this nice infrastructure to kind of build off of, we can do some serious grinding, and it should just be really fun. Nice variety. We can mix things up to, you know, kind of like keep from things getting stale and repetitive. So every week I'll do a 6 to 8 hour stream either on Twitch or YouTube Live. I haven't decided yet. You guys can kind of vote and decide, like, okay, this week we're going to do the Mosaic Assassin for the 6 hours. This week we're going to do the Javazon. We can pick and choose. Well, I'll respec. We'll run it. I'll take all the cool, juicy highlights and the drops and the unique and the fun stuff, and then I will make a weekly video of just like, you know, a highlight reel of week 1 progress Holy Grail. And I'll continue to either make that content until we're done with the Holy Grail or it stops getting over 1K view per video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really did work very hard and put a lot of time and effort into this series for you guys. And yeah, any support that you might offer me would go a long way. Let's get into the actual loot. So, what does 1 month in single player get you? Well, I can show you what it got me. And that's an infinity, call to arms, arachnid mesh, a decent little ethereal cryptic gax insight, a grief that I have not used yet but will soon. I'm gonna make a smiter, or convert my pally into a smiter. Maybe that'll get me past the whole getting 4 Amazon torches in a row. I'm still scarred by that. We've got our 2 mosaics, so if we ever wanted to run the Mosaic Assassin again, we definitely have that as an option. Heart of the Oak and Perfect Shaco. The infamous ZOD rune itself. The Cham. Not sure what we're going to do with these. I probably won't touch the ZOD. I'll probably just keep it raw and in its current state. It's kind of just a trophy to me. It took me 20 years to get this thing and thousands of hours of grinding. I think it's just gonna stay put. The Cham, however, we probably pop that into a helmet. Cannot be frozen, either Shaco, area its face. There's some options there. Throw it on like a mercenary helmet. Almost a perfect Geeds. Definitely the best one I've ever found. Unfortunately, low rolled Maras. Same with this Annihilus. Pretty low roll as well. This Griffin's Eye is just depressing. 1 off anti-perfect on the enemy lightning resistance, but it's still a Griffin's Eye, so it's still really strong. Some pretty great little charms here. Some +5 all res, 7 MF, 20 lifers. Perfect BKs. Almost perfect Ravenfrost. Really high roll. One of my personal favorite items of the series, alongside the Ethereal Titan's Revenge, is the Ethereal Sandstorm Trex. Any item that self-repairs or self-replenishes that also rolls Ethereal, which is also relatively rare in drop chance. Those are just naturally, for some reason, those are just items that I enjoy the most personally. We got to pull the slot machine for Tyrael's Might once in this month. We got a Templar's Might, unfortunately. We got our beautiful Enigma. This is pretty much the whole reason that I didn't get bored with the series and just take multiple breaks. This build diversity that this enabled just made the game stay fun and offered enough, variety to like break up the repetitive nature of just grinding for countless hours a day. Highly recommended Enigma if you can afford it. Best item in the game, hands down. War Travs. Now, this, out of all of this shit, we're talking Infinity, we're talking Griffins, Enigma, all of it. This was the last thing that I found. It took me 3 Bear Runes, a ZOD, a Cham, a Griffins, before I finally found a War Travs. This, crazy. That's just how this game is sometimes. I'll never understand it, but we finally got a pair, and that's all that matters. Shadow Dancer. Just a rare, unique, not necessarily useful, but it's, a grail item. It's really rare, unique. Same kind of goes for the Wind Force here. Same concept. Just a really rare, unique. And I think that about does it. So if you guys enjoyed this series, again, please consider commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for your support. I hope you really enjoyed this series. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Be safe. Have a good night.